Last class, we discussed about the various interpretations of Mauryan state. In this, first we discuss about Vincent Arthur Smith. In his book Ancient and Hindu India, he he justifies the arrival of the Mauryans, the ascendancy of Mauryan. It makes the ancient India from the darkness to the light, and it is a chronologically definite and precise that bring out by the advent of Mauryan Empire, and it unifying the fragments of distracted India, and it also initiated the religious movements. That all are the opinion of the V.A. Smith about the arrival of or the emergence of Mauryan Empire. And according to him, the Mauryan government that was a highly organized and thoroughly efficient autocratic administration, and it has a capable of controlling the empire that is more extensive than that of Akbar times. So, it is the viewpoint of the Vincent Arthur Smith. Likewise, the another historian, Bongard Levin, in his book Studies in Ancient India and Central Asia, he also describes the Mauryan Empire or the Mauryan state, and he describes about the basic problems of Mauryan India. In his studies, um, um, it is going through the process of historical, cultural, and social developments, and Mauryan epoch that marked by an upsurge of culture, development, and spread of scripts and dialects. And he discuss Levin. He discuss about the disputes about the coronation of Chandragupta Maurya. There is some kind of controversies that has done during the period the time period of the coronation of Chandragupta Maurya. Most of them believes that it is after 317 BC, the ascendance of Chandragupta Maurya as a king of Mauryan Empire. Not only that, Levin also discussed the characteristics of the Mauryan state. It is a private ownership of land, and the distribution of land was also uh, prevalent in the Mauryan period, and king possessed a supreme power over the state, but some influences also we can see from the private owners of the private landowners of the state. So if the king has some supreme power, or he is the ultimate power, but also there is some kind of support from the private owners, or the private landlords to the king, so that we can see a multilateral land ownership, and the influence of village community during the time of Mauryan Empire, or Mauryan in the Mauryan state. So it gives some supportive or supportive evidence to the Mauryan Empire, that it is not a centralized one, but it has some kind of what influences, or some kind of support from the village communities, and the multi level, or there is also public and private land ownership influences is also seen in the Mauryan Empire, is evident in the Levin's study. And her slave holding system is also prevailed in the Mauryan epoch. In the Mauryan period, we can see the slave holdings. These all are the interpreting about the Mauryan Empire or the Mauryan state by Bongard Levin, and his book is Studies in Ancient India and Central Asia. And the other historian, like I.W. Mabat, in his book Truth, Myth, and Politics in Ancient India, in this book, he says that in the or most of the historians they says that in the last class we discussed about it, that the centralized system of Mauryan Empire and Ardhashastra, that was the authentic text of the Mauryan administration itself. Whereas in I.W. Mabat, who says that the Ardhashastra, it cannot be accepted as a text as evidence, and it is a model for centralized administration, but not considered as it was an integrated administrative unit for all regions. So Ardhashastra, that was considered as a centralized model of administration system, but by considering is that by considering the text, that was a centralized one, but it was not applicable to all the regions of Mauryan Empire. That was the opinion of Mabat. And he says that the Ardhashastra, the textbook itself, as a prescription, it was not a description. That prescribing how the state was, and what are the essential needs of the state, and what are the departments need to a particular kind of state. These all are these all are prescribing by the text, not it a description of Mauryan Empire. It is only a prescription. So, the text says that the high organization of the administration, by considering the ideology of king's moral duty and also fulfillment of ideal administrative efficiency. So, this high organization of administration, that is actually describes in the Ardhashastra text. There are two such ideologies that followed by Ardhashastra. One is the administration of the state, that is the king's one of the king's moral duty, and the second one is it is the fulfillment of the ideal administration efficiency. So for fulfilling the ideal administrative efficiency, we follow the Ardhashastra's descriptions, or what the ideologies of Ardhashastra. By that we can fulfilling an ideal, that is a quoted one, ideal administrative efficiency. And Mabat also says that in the other two sources, like Megasthenes Indica and Ashoka's edicts and inscriptions, that all are giving the idea about the Mauryan state. And he says that both these sources, it cannot give any evidences about an integrated empire or an organized empire. The Ardhashastra only give, the text is only giving the idea about the highly organized or centralized bureaucracy itself, but it can the Megasthenes Indica or Ashoka's edicts and inscriptions cannot giving or it give there is no such kind of indications or evidence of organized or integrated empire in anywhere. That was the opinion of I.W. Mabat. And Next one is Thapar, Romila Thapar. In the last class, we says that Romila Thapar, who gives an idea about a centralized administration through his book Ashoka and the Decline of Mauryas. In this, she says that the Mauryan Empire, the Mauryan state, that was a centralized one itself. But whereas after studying the new perspectives itself, she revised her idea. That also we just mentioned in the last class, and here it was in Maurya revisited. She argued that there is such kind of a uniform pattern of administration cannot be traced in the throughout the Mauryan state. So she suggested a three administrative zones to the Mauryan state. That is, one is metropolitan state, another is core areas, and the third one is peripheral areas. These are the three administrative zones we can see in the Mauryan state. So it is a purely a decentralized form of system of administration. That was then discussed by the Romila Thapar in her book Maurya Revisited. In this, the metropolitan state, that was the first category of administration zone. In this, she says that the Magadha, that is the nucleus or the capital, that is the nucleus or center of the state, and the Patliputra, but it extended across the entire Ganges plains, and it spreads its hegemony over other areas through conquest. That is the function of the metropolitan state. And the Padliputra, the second capital, that monopolized monumental architecture, and there is a directly and centrally administration that also seen in the metropolitan state. And the next one is core areas. In the core areas, that is the nuclei of professional administration. It included the existing states, areas of incipient state formation, and centers of trade, etc. That are included in this state. It include the Gandhara, Kalinga, Saurashtra, Ujjain, Amravati. All are included in this core areas. And Thapar argues that the erstwhile Mahajanapadas like Kosla, Avanti, Vatsa, that incorporated in the Mauryan Empire became core areas. The erstwhile areas are incorporating with the Mauryan Empire, and it created the core areas. So metropolitan area, that included the capital cities, and the core areas, it included the provisional cities and erstwhile Mahajanapadas. All are combined with the core areas. And the peripheral, that means the remote areas, it included many pre-state societies and pastoral tracts, forest areas, that are included in the peripheral cities. So these are the three classifications of administration zones by the Romila Thapar. These are the various interpretations of Mauryan Empire.